righty, you are looking live. It's sold out MetLife Stadium where today the 16-0 and playoff-bound New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 Philadelphia Eagles. And why are the Philadelphia Eagles 0-16? Because they suck. They lost to the Giants 27-10. The Philadelphia Eagles suck. The Philadelphia Eagles were 10-1. They finished the season 11-6. Philadelphia sucks. Rolls right off the tongue there, folks. Philadelphia sucks. Man, right there, Philadelphia. Right there, Philly. Right there. Salute you, brothers. Right there. Philadelphia sucks. Welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody? Hold on, time out. Time out on the field. Gotta move the chair for my buddy. Right here. Vinny G-Man's in the house. Hey, see that game, huh? Oh man. Ooh, what a way to go out, huh? Victory over the Eagles. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Anybody out there all going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening? I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. If anybody's going to spend any time watching the replay this once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. Thank you. Going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight. Shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say? Like Vinny G-Man, please put it in the chat box. Usually try to check on the chat box like every 5 or 10 minutes or so. So as soon as I see something in there, I try to respond to it as fast as I can. So please feel free. Fire away. But plus also, instead of me just like rambling on for half an hour, 45 minutes or whatever it might want to be, it's just nice to talk to another Giant fan. So please feel free. Fire away. Before I get started, if anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below, the very top link in the description box takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon. Second membership level I got is called the Lawrence Taylor. And the third membership level I got is called the Gridiron. Each one has their own little perks to them. So if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me. And I thank you in advance. Thank you. If you're subscribed to my channel, once again, thank you. I can use all the support I can get, guys. Please, if not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way, next time I go live or if I put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But if you're subscribed to my channel, I thank you. And then finally, also, little ways down in the description box is 2 additional links. The top link is a Facebook link. I'll go over that in just a second. The one just below it, I'm an old-time fart, so the one link below it, it's Twitter. It's always been Twitter to me. It's Twitter today. It'll be Twitter tomorrow. 3 trillion years from now, it'll be Twitter. Because I'm an old-time fart. I hate change, right? Whatever letter of the alphabet Elon Musk wants to call it, that's on you, brother. I'm not calling it that. I call it Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, I'll follow you back. Obviously, every day I try to put some Giants-related stuff in there, right? So if you follow me, I will follow you back. That's an absolute promise. And then a link just on top of it, it's takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. We have over 7,500 members in the group. It's doing simply marvelous, might add. Basically, if I'm alive and breathing, if I have internet access, I'm putting stuff in this group darn near 365. And not only do I put stuff in here, but if you become a member, members post stuff in here as well. So between me and the members, there's a boatload of New York Giants information going in this group every day. So please join it. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's a group on Facebook. Join it. You won't be dissatisfied. I promise. Well, all that stuff said and done and out way with. Well, I'll tell you what, man. Well, Black Monday's here. You know, it's going to be a heck of a little roller coaster ride we got going over from now until the end of April, beginning of March. Yeah, I got a brain. End of April to the beginning of May, somewhere around there. Because usually what winds up happening, you got the free agency. You know, we're about 2 months away from free. I mean, this SHIT is just crazy. So about 2 months we got free agency. Then of course that builds up to the draft. And then the thing is, after the heavy hitters of free agency come and go, I mean, well, I don't want to say the heavy hitters because some of them, even after the draft and free agency and all that stuff's over with, there's still be some heavy hitters out there still looking for something, right? What we got? How do you feel about Wink? Yeah. Man, they must have been butting some heads or something like that. So the thing is that, now you got this period here, right? I mean, Dable's coming in, his first time being a head coach and all of that and whatnot. So it's going to, does this start, we start seeing some clues here going forward, like if Dable's here in another year or two, does he start butting heads with somebody else and somebody else winds up leaving and then Dable butts heads with somebody else and they wind up leaving? I mean, so I'm going to have to kind of wait and see. I mean, Wink Martindale, I mean, he seems just like a nice, low level kind of key kind of guy. And, and I don't, then to be butting heads is, I don't know. But it did seem like with Wink, because they let the Wilkins brothers go. Right, I mean, because he brought them over with him, and I guess they just were not very overly pleased with maybe the development of Kayvon, although he had his double-digit sacks. Right, they didn't seem like maybe he took another step. I mean, because remember, there was a couple games, like especially the Washington game last year, where he just like took over that game, and he really seemed to do good. I mean. He had the strip sack against Lamar Jackson. He had a couple game-changing plays and all of that. So he had the sacks this season, but did he really take over a lot of games? I mean, maybe it's his development? Did he think he got a little bit better? I mean, where was Azeez Ojulari at this season? I mean, my God, Hadi Ward had more sacks than Azeez Ojulari, and Azeez wasn't like injured 15 games of the season. I mean, like he was last season. Last season he was injured, but when he was on the field, he was like, I mean, unless the injuries are catching up with him, I don't know. But I mean, it's like, where are our edge rushers this season? So I mean, they let the outside linebacker coaches go. Oh, yeah, I heard Wink left because Dable went behind his back, and the Wink's there. How does Kafka? I don't know. I don't know. Dable makes it me. Well, it's going to be interesting to see what goes on, because if the Giants do draft a quarterback, right? I mean, if they do that in the first round, we'll have to wait and see. Don't know. If they draft one in the second round or the third round, and maybe somebody to develop, it's going to be interesting to see who calls plays next year. Because somewhere along the line, Dable's, his head's going to be on the chopping block, and if you're going down, if Wink's, if the Titanic hits the iceberg and they're going down, right, you want to go down, guns a blazing, right? So he's going, he's not going to be sitting passively on the sideline, as the Giants go through another 6-11 season with Kafka calling plays and we're scoring 4 points a game, stuff like that. Dable's just not going to be sitting there on the sideline just going, yeah, we lost 35-2. Yeah, okay. So somewhere along the line, he's gonna have to start getting more involved with all of this. I mean, Kafka is here, but does that mean, but does that mean he won't go someplace else? I mean, he still has his job. I mean, as of right now with the Giants, but will he venture back maybe into the college ranks somewhere along the line and maybe try to get a head coaching job there? He seemed like a bigger candidate last season because we, took Daniel Jones had a nice season. He didn't set the world on fire as far as touchdown passes, but the interceptions, only 5 interceptions, I think it was right during the regular season. That came way down. He had 15 touchdowns to 5 interceptions, playoff win, all that stuff and everything. So Kafka obviously was he was a commodity last season. I don't know what if he's going to get any head coaching opportunities this season, but it'd be interesting to see if he winds up going maybe to the college ranks. But I mean, T-Mac, they let T-Mac go. That's a, I mean, you got to look. I mean, toward the end of the season, we had with Gunnar Olszewski in there. I mean, the special teams, the punt return, punt coverage seemed to be better. We had the punt return against us in the preseason for the Detroit Lions. That basically that was the one that lost us the game. I mean, that was the difference in the game. And when he ran the punt back for a touchdown, I remember on watching, I think on Facebook, some people had some YouTube videos and stuff like that, or Facebook and all that. T-Mac walked past Dable, and Dable was just like, I mean, Dable's eyes if they were like laser beams, T-Mac could be dead. I mean, he was just like staring at him as T-Mac walked past him as they read, But I mean, the coverage group this season was pretty good, really pretty good. I mean, like Holmes, Coughlin, Nick McLeod. We had some good gunners. We had some good coverage. Wasn't too bad. The kick coverage. Yeah, I mean, was okay. I mean, it was most of the kicks were in the end zone, so we had a lot of touchbacks. But you also got to look at it too, right? I mean, that makes you scratch your head too. I mean, because the Scottish Hammer, he was punting pretty good, but then he got injured, right? I mean, we lost 3 kickers. I mean, of course, York, somehow we lost him. He was on the practice squad. Somehow we lost the guy. Now teams in the past, I mean, I haven't looked, but I'm sure teams in the past have certainly gone through 3 kickers and went on to their 4th kicker in the season. But that's because the kicker stunk. I mean, you start off, you miss a couple kicks here. Like the Giants, I think the 86 team, if you look back, Bob Thomas played 1 game for the Giants, and then they had another guy, and I think they were maybe their 3rd. The Giants of 86 went through a couple kickers. So, I mean, teams went through kickers in the season because the kickers stunk. And they were just, okay, you missed a field goal, we'll see you later. You missed an extra point, we'll see you, But, I mean, it's put 3 guys, almost a 4th. I mean, if the Hammer's kicker, the Hammer's leg was any worse, his groin, leg, whatever it was, he might have gone on injury. I mean, but I'm serious. Like, how many teams put 3 kickers on injury reserve in a season, and they had to call on a 4th? I mean, what we got? We led the league in defensive turnovers. Yeah, 31, right? 31. Wow. Our sacks were down, right? But yeah, the turnover, and we went the first 4 games, we didn't have a turnover. It was like, we stunk. We got blown out by the Cowboys, the 49ers. I mean, finally, so we basically won the last 13 games. We had 31 turnovers. Wow. I think we were a plus 12 in the turnover margin, which put us up there, right? And, somehow we only won 6 games, right? But, I mean, obviously you can say, there was a lot. Injuries, we gave up, what was it, only 85 sacks we gave up, right? We averaged whatever it was, 14 points a game, 15 or 16, that maybe because after the Eagle game, so we went up a little bit, but yeah, but it makes you kind of, but I think because they let Wilkins go, the Wilkins brothers, I think that pissed them off, and I guess he wound up resigning. So I guess there was some animosity, I guess, that bumping some heads or whatever. Oh, yeah. Hate to say it, but it looks like a disaster. You never know. Now, but there are some guys out there, though. Okay. Who looks like that, we could have, now we need a new strength and conditioning coach. Obviously, there's a ton of those out there, but obviously you just don't want to go to anywhere and just, we'll take you. So that's, that's big. Don't want to downplay that. Right? We're going to get a new running back coach. Okay. We've had 3 or 4 running back coaches. I think like every year we got to run a new running back coach. Seems like every year, right? But the outside linebacker coaches, have they done it? Have they done a real good job? Have you seen it develop? As I said, has Kayvon? If they Kayvon sacks, put them aside. Kayvon had a nice season, but did he? I said once again, just take the sacks, put them aside. Was Kayvon a game wrecker this year? There's quite a few games where he was even on the field. Maybe did he have a sack? We led the league in defensive turnovers and great offense. Yeah, So, I could, as I said, where was Azeez Ojulari this season? He was MIA. Right? I said, Jihad Ward had more sacks than he did. Boogie Basham. Did he make any kind of any kind of an influence at all? Yeah. So our outside linebacker, now we certainly need more talent. That's for sure. But I guess they're just looking at some of the weaknesses and they're just trying to, right? Now Leslie Frazier is out there. He took the year off. I think he stepped away. He didn't get let go, I don't think. I think he stepped away for a year, but he's available. I would hello. Some guys aren't very good coaches, but they're very good coordinators. Pat Shurmur, not a good coach. I think he was 9-23. 9-23 would be 32 games. Yeah. So he was 9-23 with the Cleveland Browns. Some reason Dave Gettleman saw something in him. Yeah, you were 9-23 in 2 seasons with the Browns. Okay, yeah, why are you? So he saw something in him. And in 2 seasons with the New York Giants, Pat Shurmur was, surprisingly enough, 9-23. So what would that be? 18-46 in 4 seasons of cover. But he's a very good offensive coordinator. He's good at calling plays. He got Daniel Jones in his rookie season, 24-12. Daniel Jones had 312 turnovers. I get that. But he had 24 touchdown passes. And he only played in, what was it? I think 12 games. He played in 13 games, but that included a cup of coffee. I guess we were probably getting blown out by the Cowboys in Dallas. Shocking, I know. But that was so he played like one series in the Cowboy game. So it was one of the first games of the season. We went to Dallas and got blown out. Shocking. So they have him down as playing in 13, but he only started in 12. He played 12 full games, 24 touchdown passes, 12 interceptions. And probably had 1,342 fumbles. I get it. But Daniel Jones' rookie season. Now, let's not forget, Daniel Jones is the only rookie quarterback, NFL history. Period. Only quarterback. Now, I'm going to get this wrong. He had at least 3, if not 4 games. He's the only quarterback. And he only did it in 12 games. All right. 300 or more passing yards, I think it was. 4 touchdowns. 4 or more touchdowns. Because one of the games he had 5. So he had 4 more touchdowns. 300 more passing yards and no interceptions in 3 in his rookie season. He did it 3 or 4 games. He's the only quarterback. Now, of course, the games he did it again, the teams weren't that great. Where we got here? John Fox should be the defensive coordinator. Bring back John Fox. There you go. Oh, Dable and Shane have to draft a quarterback to restart the clock if they don't. Well, that's the thing with them. Yeah. See, that'll give them some time. If they draft a quarterback. Right? it's going to be interesting to see where they think Daniel Jones, what they think of Daniel Jones, because Daniel Jones will be somewhere along the line. If that's not week one, very early on, he'll be back in there, calling signals, calling Omaha. Oh yeah, he'll be playing early on. If not week one, very soon. But this also lets you know what they think of Daniel Jones. Now they're in a good spot, number 6. Right, because they got bumped back by the Chargers. Okay, now I went off on the Chargers with my video last night. I mean, they lost 13-12. There was like a 14-point swing on one play. They got down to the 3-yard line or whatever it was of the Chiefs. They fumbled the ball. The Chiefs ran it up, picked it up, and ran it back 97 yards for a touchdown. So that was at least a 10-point swing right there. Then, of course, the Chargers got down, like with about 4 minutes to go, they got down to like the 1-yard line of Kansas City. It was 2nd and 1. So I think it was 2nd and goal from the 1. Didn't get in. 3rd and goal from the 1. Of course, didn't get in. So they kick a field goal. They go up 12-10. Well, meanwhile, the Chiefs scored somewhere like, I think with like a kicked a field goal in the second quarter with about 4 minutes left to go. So like over 30 minutes, the Chiefs did absolutely nothing on it. So as soon as the Chargers take the lead, 12-10. The Chiefs, who did nothing the whole second half, nothing, get the ball and walk right down the field, kick the game-winning field goal. But so that's why we went from 5 to 6, right? But then again, we won a game, we beat the Eagles, and we only won back one spot. Now the nice thing about that is that you got 3 teams in front of us. There's 5 teams in front of us. 3 of them don't need quarterbacks. At least I don't think. I don't think the Bears, I don't think they're moving on from Justin Fields. I'd be kind of shocked if they did. If they did, you can also see where, if they took, say, Caleb Williams, just throwing a name out there, right? To them, that's almost a no-lose situation, right? Because if they bring in Caleb Williams and they battle it out and say Caleb Williams wants to become, well, now they got Justin Fields sitting on the sideline on a rookie contract, right? They could trade him and get something for him. Maybe not this draft or whatever, right? But maybe they can get some, But if they're going to rock and roll with Justin Fields, you got Kyler Murray with the Cardinals. I think they might want to stay with him, right? And you got Justin Herbert. So we got 3 teams, but you got the Commanders and the Patriots. They need a quarterback, So unless we're going to maybe pick up the phone and call the Bears and go up to number 1 or something, it might be a little expensive. But we might have to take the 3rd, best quarterback. Now, of course, just because the Commanders take a quarterback, whoever they think is the best, it may not be what Shane and Dable think. Shane and Dable might say, well, we like the guy from Washington, or we like the guy from LSU. So if the guy from LSU is there, pick 6, we're taking him. Or it's like we'll take the guy from LSU and the guy from Washington. If either one of those guys is there, pick 6. That's our guy. So we'll be interested to see. But you're right. That'll buy him some time. That'll bother Mr. Mara, because Mr. Mara loves Daniel Jones. But that'll give him some time. Because that'll give them, because like say next season, say they're like, they go 5-12, or they really do a bad job or something like that. Yeah, Dable's going to be, I don't know so much about Shane, but Dable, yeah, his seat will start getting a little hot. But if they bring a new quarterback in, right, that'll give him a little bit of time. That'll give him at least a couple of seasons, right? Because then they'll try to, if they bring a new quarterback in, maybe they can slide him in next season, right? Start developing him, see what he can do. And then that'll give him a 4th season, Dable, a 4th season, and we'll start bringing the quarterback in and, see if he can start taking off. But you do know that, Dable will be very hands-on. If they do draft a quarterback, he's going to be very hands-on. And it'd be interesting to see if he decides about calling plays. See if he takes the play calling duties away from Kafka. But I'll tell you what, I also saw this. What was it? Oh, there we go. The Panthers Talking to Brandon Brown. Panthers reportedly interested in Giants assistant GM Brandon Brown for the GM post. That'd be interesting. Now, I tell you what, I'm impressed with Brandon Brown. I think he's a future GM walking. Yeah, somewhere along the line, if the Panthers don't get him or whatever, somewhere along the line, I think somebody's going to scoop him up and be a GM, because he was not only with the Eagles, but now he's learning with the Giants as well too. So he seems like he's a good candidate somewhere along the line. It says the Panthers, who fired their general manager Scott Fitterer following their disastrous 2023 season, have reportedly sought permission to interview Giants assistant general manager Brandon Brown. So Brown was hired by the Giants general manager Joe Schoen in 2022 after spending 5 seasons with the Eagles. So he got himself especially being under Howie Roseman, he got himself between Schoen and Roseman, Brown, he's got a lot of knowledge up there. I can tell you that much. Let's see here. With the Eagles, where he was the team's director of player personnel in 2021, tasked with overseeing the pro scouting department. Before joining the Eagles, he was with the Colts for 2 seasons as an advanced scout and scouting assistant in 2015. His first full-time scouting job after a brief stint with Boston College and as a pro personnel interim in the Jets training camps in 2012. So he's been around for a little while too, right? He's been with multiple organizations and he's learned a lot. Brown has taken part of the Ozzie Newsome General Manager Forum. Tell you what, if you're under Ozzie Newsome, you got yourself an education you can't get at Yale or Harvard. Let me tell you what, Ozzie Newsome was not only a heck of a football player, but a heck of a GM. He was also invited to participate in the front office and general manager accelerator program last month. So, and the Giants also signed 10 reserve future contracts. Cool. Dennis Houston, the wide receiver. Deion Jackson, running back. Yadni Kajust, I think that's how you pronounce it. Joshua Miles, the tackles. Guard Jalen Mayfield, defensive tackle Ryder Anderson. Linebackers Deontay Johnson, Jeremiah Martin. Defensive backs Caleb Hayes and Stanley Thomas Oliver. So, at least we also signed a few guys, but Brandon Brown. That's if the Panthers sign him, I think that'd be a good pickup for him. Very, very good pickup for him. But I tell you what, I said I think about Leslie Frazier. I would like it. And once again, I was bringing back the same thing, kind of like a Pat Shurmur kind of thing, right? Pat Shurmur's not maybe a good head coach, but he's a very good overall offensive. He's good at calling plays, maybe a good offensive coordinator. Leslie Frazier was not super spectacular as a head coach, but he's a very good defensive coordinator. And right, where was he just last at? Buffalo, right? So Shane, Dable, Leslie Frazier, a lot of familiarity there. I hope I would love it. Wilkins too. Wilkins may not be a bad pickup either if the Giants can draft. I hope they stay away from Matt Patricia. Guy can take the pencil, he can shove it up his rear end and stay with the Eagles for all I care. Keep away from Matt Patricia. But Wilkins, but I would love it if we had Leslie Frazier in here. That would because Leslie, he likes pressure too. He likes pressure. But as far as the outside linebacker coach, I think that's what wind up pissing Wink off. And so it is what it is. You don't have to worry about Wink. He'll find something. He's going to land on it. He'll land on his feet somewhere. Oh, we got here. We got this Wink here. Wink Martindale to resign as the Giants defensive coordinator. Per report, Giants will have a significant coaching turnover. Wink Martindale will be resigning as the Giants defensive coordinator, as per Pat Leonard. Well, yeah. Report is, as of this writing, unconfirmed. Well, I think it's pretty confirmed. From First part, Dable said that he expected Martindale to be back when Shane and Dable were talking this morning. He expected Kafka and Martindale to be back, but that was probably before they let the Wilkins brothers go. Oh wait, let's see here. Let's see here. The Giants have also fired outside linebacker coach Drew Wilkins and his assistant outside linebacker coach Kevin Wilkins, per report. So that seems like that's what set off Wink. The Wilkins brothers were brought to the Giants by Martindale from the Baltimore Ravens. That report emerged shortly before Leonard's report regarding Martindale. So there might have been some going on beneath the surface that Dable had admitted. So then, of course, you got, thank goodness, thank God, Bobby Johnson. Thank you, Jesus. Now, interesting thing here. I saw a report, Mike Munchak. Oh, stay away from the riverboat Ron in D.C. Oh, yeah, D.C. Riverboat Ron. Yeah. He didn't have a good season this year. But, be interesting to see if Eric Bieniemy maybe winds up getting a head coaching job there. That'd be interesting. That'd be interesting to see. But I did see this. We're letting go Bobby Johnson. Thank you, Jesus. Right? But there's a guy the guy from Atlanta. They let him go, but where are we at here? Nope. Hold on here. Oh, I had it here somewhere. Well, because it had to do with Mike Munchak. Mike Munchak he's out there. He's available as well too. But there was a guy from the coach from the Atlanta Falcons. I believe he just got fired. So their offensive line coach is very, very good. He might become available. And if he's available, let me tell you what he did with, not superior, not the greatest in talent in the world, but what he did there. Let me see here. Let me pop this up. Now, the offensive line coach for Atlanta, okay, when he came there in 2021, all right, so in 2021, Atlanta, their pass blocking was not very good. Their pass blocking was rather poor. His first year, see, where was it? Pass blocking. Pass blocking, I'm sorry. This is according to PFF, right? It's pass blocking. They were 31st. Atlanta's pass blocking was 31st. I can't remember. I forgot the name of the coach, their offensive line coach. But so his first year with Atlanta graded out 31st according to PFF. All right. So from 2021 to 2022, they went from 31st pass blocking to number 8. And then this past season, their pass blocking grade, pass blocking, then we're number 3. So in 2 seasons, the Atlanta Falcons pass blocking grade, once again, according to PFF, that's all I'm going by, they were number 31, and this past season they were number 3. And this past season, their run blocking grade, they were number 6. So the Atlanta Falcons pass blocking, and this is developing guys too, right? So this is bringing guys in, right? The first season they weren't too good. Actually, the first season he was there, their run blocking grade was very good. But as far as developing guys, huge. I mean, their pass blocking number 31. They went from 31 to 8 in one season, and then they went to number 3. I mean, very impressive. And as I said, the biggest thing is not only that, is not being good, right? But also developing guys. And that's something. I mean, it's like, who are we developing? I mean, we're letting guys come and go and all, I know McKeith, and he was injured, and, so he missed some time and all of that. But I mean, Zudu, Lemieux, Bredesen, McKeithen. I mean, Parrott. I mean, who are we developing? I mean, Evan Neal. I mean, and I know Neal played. Neal in 2 seasons had a grand total of 34 games he played in. He only played in 20 into 34. He was, and even some of those 20 games he played in, he was injured a lot. I get that, but I mean, who are we developing? What kind of depth do we have? So Shane did mention. I think he was talking about that in the Shane or Dable in the presser they had this morning. As far as bringing somebody in for an offensive line coach, somebody who not only could be a good coach, but also develop younger players. I mean, because one of the things the Giants have is that if we do have somebody who's decent on the offensive line, say they get injured, well, who are we bringing in to replace them? Is there some quality depth there at all? So then there was also Mike Munchak, who hasn't been, I think he's been out of the NFL since 2021, I think it was, or it might have been his last year he was in the NFL coaching. But there's reports that maybe he might want to come back, and he's a very good offensive line coach as well, too. I hope it's like kind of like what you're saying is that, hopefully, like with Tom Coughlin, he's very, very strict, this, that, the other thing, and all that stuff. And the guys, especially like Michael Strahan and stuff, some of the older guys said, Tom, you need to relax a little bit. It can't be, even Bill Parcells, he could be a son of a, what. But there was times he'd let himself down. He'd joke around with guys and stuff like that. Tom needed to do that, right? Dable needs to maybe do that. Sometimes, you can't butt heads with everybody. That's not a good, and we'll have to wait and see. So apparently, getting rid of the outside linebacker coach that rubbed Wink the wrong way. Wink left. So we'll have to wind up waiting and seeing. Because there was the report, obviously, like about a month or so ago, that there was some big time friction between Wink and Dable. At least we're keeping Henderson. That's good. I think he's a very good secondary coach. I think he's, for the talent that we had out there, right? I think he did a very good job. So I'm glad we got him. But as I said, I could see with the outside linebackers coach. We don't have the greatest talent, but I said Kayvon, he had his sacks, yeah. But did he take games over and stuff? So we'll find another outside linebacker coach. There's a couple good offensive line coaches out there, and it's obviously there's some good defensive coordinators out there. So this is going to be tumultuous. Is that the word? Time for the Giants. Letting guys go, but a lot of teams are like this too. You got Black Monday, right? So I said, so these next few months is going to be pretty crazy for the New York Giants. Guys coming, coaches going, and all of that. I got this here with, unfortunately, T-Mac. Shame with him. Special teams coordinator T-Mac and Bobby Johnson will not return. They joined the previously announced departures of running back coach Jeff Nixon and director of strength performance Craig Fitzgerald. McGahee just completed his 6th season coaching the New York Giants special teams. It was his 2nd stint with the team and one in which he worked for 3 different head coaches. From 2007 to 2010, McGahee was the assistant special teams coach. So McGahee was with the Giants for Coughlin, right? And then he made it through like 3 regimes. He went through the Sherman regime, he went through the Judge regime, and he went through the first 2 seasons of Dable. So that's pretty impressive. For 3 different coaches to keep you on as their special teams coach, that's pretty special. Johnson came to the Giants with Dable 2 years ago. He was the Bills' offensive line coach from 2019 to 2021 when Dable was the team's offensive coordinator. The Giants allowed 85 sacks, 20 more than any other team, and 23 more than the previous team record set in 1966. And let me tell you what. And in 1966, they only played in 14 games, but 1966 was the worst team in Giants history. Absolute worst team in New York Giants history. The Giants scored some points in 1960. Their defense was absolutely horrible. But you give up 23 more sacks than the worst team in New York Giants history. That's saying something. I mean, that's unbelievable. So Dable said, I want to thank those guys for what they've done in the last 2 years. This is the hard part of the job. I have a lot of respect for them. Just felt we were going to move in a different direction, not going to add anything to it. These were private conversations, but I do respect both of those guys and what they've done for the last 2 years, their commitment to the team, their work ethic, but wanted to make a change. Let's see here. Ben Bredesen started all 16 games he played this season. Wow. 8 at right guard, 4 each at left guard, and at center. His 1,014 snaps were the most by a Giants offensive player. Wow. He said, I'm always going to be a different with the offensive line. Coach leaving, Ben Bredesen said, it'll be different, I'm sure. I appreciate Bobby. He helped me out a ton in my career as a person and as a player. He and I had a great relationship. I'm thankful for him for the 2 years that we got to spend together. After much late season speculation about the future of offensive coordinator Mike Kafka and defensive coordinator Wink Martindale, Dable said he anticipated that they will remain on the staff. He said, my expectation is Wink and Kafka will both be back, but there's still conversations that are going to be had, Dable said. I think they're good coaches, so it'll be good to have some continuity and bring them back. I know Wink talks about this as a destination place and things like that. It's good. I appreciate how hard they work, their commitment to the team. So that's my plan. Little did he know. Does Dable expect Kafka will continue in his role as the offensive play caller? Those are conversations we'll have here over the next few months of what direction we'll go, Dable said, and we'll make those decisions as we do a full evaluation. Since Kayvon, who led the team with sacks, I think he's doing good. You have to keep getting better and keep coming together as a team. Dable will need to hire his third running back coach in as many years after the 2022 season. DeAndre Smith left to take the same position with the Colts. So, I mean, lots of turnover. I mean, obviously more turnover this season than last season. But, but that's to be expected. I mean, things like this obviously happen. You can only coach up bad talent so much like the Giants. We keep firing coaches. That's one of the things is that, it's hard to get any kind of continuity. It's hard. I mean, it's bringing in a different GM and bringing in a different, as I said, if you look at it, hold on, right? Yeah. If you go back to 2014, right? 2014, every coach has been here for 2 seasons, right? I mean, I don't know how you expect to win anything like that. 2014 and 15, right? Yeah, Coughlin. 16 and 17, McAdoo. 18 and 19, Shermer. 2021, Judge. 22, 23, Dable. 10 years, 5 coaches. 2. Right? 3 different GMs. Reese, Gettleman, and Shane. 5 coaches, 3 GMs in 10 years. I mean, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I mean, it's kind of like almost like the perfect storm, right? I mean, it's like how are you supposed to evaluate Evan Neal? The guy's always injured, right? How are you supposed to, get a continuity on the offensive line? I think we had 10 different starting offensive lines this year. McKinney and Bobby O played every single. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The only 2 defensive players in the NFL who play every snap. I think I was listening to Big Blue Kickoff Live. I think Paul Dottino said I can't remember the guy's name, but there was a guy from the Commanders. So it was week 17. I think going into week 17, there was a guy for the Commanders. I forgot on defense. I forgot what his name was, but he played every snap. I think he missed a snap in week 17 for whatever reason. So he I think maybe for one snap he missed one play. But other than that, I mean, you got two guys on the Giants on the same team, the only two in the whole NFL who play every snap. I mean, that's pretty impressive. And I'll tell you what, McKinney, he really balled out. When he said, when he was talking, he said, I don't think the captain, whatever, that was like halfway through the season or so, whatever it was. He said, yeah, I don't think the defensive cap or the players are being hurt as much, or the captains are being hurt as much, or something like that, whatever. That was a couple months ago. But ever since then, he's come on. He's balled out. He played a good game against the boy. That interception, going up, getting his toes down. Oh man! I'll tell you what. So, Bobby Okereke, what a pickup that was. What a pickup that was. Let me tell you what, man. He was everything as advertised. You were kind of open because what he did with the Colts the year before, it's like the guy's all over the field. He had 17 tackles against the Giants, right? So it's like, man, let's hope the guy can do the same thing for the Giants when we bring him in. Man. Everything is advertised, man. Really, really good. The problem is that you have a new defensive coordinator in there. Now everybody's got to start learning a new system. Some of the guys we might have brought in is kind of like maybe Wicks guys, right? I want this type of a cornerback. I want this kind of a edge rusher. I want this kind of a middle line. These are, so now if we bring somebody else in, they're going to start looking around and be like, yeah, that outside linebacker, he's not quite right for my system. That cornerback, he's not quite right for my system. That safety back there, I'm not so sure about him. Micah McFadden, not for my set. You know what I mean? So it's like, to your point, it's kind of like, you're bringing in guys for certain coaches, and then the coaches go away, and now you got these guys that fit the coach's scheme, and now you bring another coach in, and he's like, these guys don't fit my scheme. Yeah. So as I said, then the problem is that once again is bringing a new coach every 2 seasons, bringing in a GM, and it's really tough, really, really tough. If you think these guys are your guys, you might have to. I said next season, might have some more. Might be 8 wins, 9 wins, 7 wins. Once again, you might have to let another year or so go, and then hopefully with another couple drafts, 2025, we're supposed to have some good draft capital, some money to spend. And if we were to let Daniel Jones go, we would save even more money. So it's in 2025, we'll have some draft capital, another couple drafts. We'll have some more guys putting on the team. But the thing is, we have a lot of, the guys from last year's draft and the guys from this year's draft, I think every one of them, except for like one, I think, is on the team still, either on the practice squad or on the team. I think everyone, we got to develop those guys. And then we're going to draft another, 7 or so this year, right? To probably make the roster, but we got to develop them. Yeah, you have to develop them. You don't want to keep bringing 7 guys in, keeping them, and then just let them go. 7 guys in, keep them for a couple of years, let them go. You got to develop them. So can we develop them too? And you need to hit on those 5th and 6th and 7th round picks, because you can't pay everybody $30 million, $20 million a year. You need those guys in the 7th round, like the Jordan Rileys, Javarius Owens. Was he even on the field this season? I get it. He was a late round pick. But I don't even know how many snaps he had this year. But we got to develop those guys, because you kind of hoping in a year or two, maybe he'll be developed. We can start putting him at least on the field, at least on some special teams or something like that. But so if we do keep him for a second contract, he'll be cheap, right? You just can't keep going out and bringing guys in $3, $4, $5, $10, $15 million a year. You got to hit on those lower picks. So you got to trust the process and hope that Shane and Dave will know what they're doing, and hope it'll come to fruition. But Black Monday hit the Giants hard. All right, Vinny G, man, good talking to you, brother. I'll be back again tomorrow. All right, we do this all again tomorrow. So whoever spent any time listening to me live, thank you. If anybody spends any time watching the replays, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Means the world to me. Thank you. As always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.